Was that like wave as you saying hi? Because then I'm just like,
hey guys, my name is Jess and
natural.
Yes.
This is gonna be hard.
Hey guys, my name is Jess and I'm the creator of 44, and today I'm joined by Shannon Burton.
Hi
or
everyone.
Shan. And yeah, I thought that she would be a really great person to do a video with because she's very, very spiritual.
So I remember Jess sent me a message on Facebook Messenger, and we'd never really been friends before, and we maybe like spoke to each other once or twice, but she suggested that I use this website called Higher Perspective because I do a lot of creative writing, and from there we sort of just started speaking, and we
like, I remember we started off writing like a paragraph to each other, and then next thing we were literally writing novels to each other.
Yeah,
like
it
a
was
whole
just
love
like
story. Yeah, it was so crazy. So I've always viewed her as like somebody who is very knowledgeable about spirituality and that sort of thing, and somebody that I can ask about like crystals or meditation or that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I've always seen Jess the same way as well, so I think we're sort of like connected in a spiritual way as friends.
I definitely think.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. Yeah, so today we're just going to ask each other a few questions about, well, within spirituality, and yeah, take it from there. So the first question, do you partake in any spiritual practices?
I do. I think my main ones would probably be yoga and meditation.
Oh, cool. So like mine would also be meditation. I've meditated every single day for the last 2 years. And then yeah. And then another thing would be morning pages. I've spoken about it in one of my blogs, so you can just go check that out on my website.
And what's morning pages?
So morning pages is basically throughout the day, you take pieces of paper or whatever and you just write for 25 minutes.
Wow, that's really
Or
cool.
like 3 A4 pieces of paper. I write for 25 minutes and then you just like get everything in your head out on a piece of paper, and I just like, it really helps me.
Yeah, that actually sounds really cool. Like, I think that would help a lot of people to just
I mean, obviously it's not going to work for everybody, but I find like it gives me so much inspirational insight. You know when your head feels like chaos, and then when you just get it on a piece of paper, you're like, okay, like, you know,
Okay. What's your favorite yoga pose?
So my favorite yoga pose would be a tree pose. I'm in jeans now, so I'm not, and like if I did it, I would be above the camera, but like I don't know how to do it. But like
leg goes here,
and you stand up.
Yeah, and then you look like a tree.
Yeah, and it's basically like you balance. So that's my favorite one. And yours?
Awesome. I really like the pigeon pose. I will show you guys. I'm not gonna.
So not child's pose.
I like child's pose as well. Child's pose is really nice for when you kind of just need to chill. But this is a really nice pose to do. Sorry, this is on my Instagram because I'm not going to be doing this stuff now. That's my favorite pose, and it's just really nice.
I don't even think I would be able to do that. Okay, and then what kind of meditation do you do?
I do a lot of different kinds of meditation, but I think my favorite is just mindfulness because I struggle to concentrate a lot and to be present. So yeah, I think.
What is mindfulness? How would you describe that?
I think mindfulness is basically like paying attention to what you're doing in the moment, because I think we can get very stressed out and very busy, and we're sort of like always in our heads. We don't even realize all the things that are happening around us. So mindfulness sort of pulls you into the moment and says like, okay, this is actually your surroundings, this is what's happening.
Yeah, and then for me, so as I said, I've been meditating every single day for 2 years. I speak about the app Insight Timer quite a lot. There's lots of guided meditations on there, and like it changes all the time. So sometimes I do like 5-minute meditation, sometimes I do like, I've never done a long meditation just with silence. I usually do guided meditations for long ones, but there's like chakra meditations, positivity meditations, like all different types of things. Like recently I've been meditating for 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
Cool.
4.
I wanted to ask, the guided meditations, would you say that's easier to do if you want to do an extended period of meditation? Would you say it's easier than mindfulness meditation if it's a longer period?
I think it depends. I mean, it depends on different people. For me, I prefer it. just because it's like something to focus on,
Yeah.
like a voice or like somebody telling you what to do, like guiding you, as opposed to just sitting in silence.
Yeah, it's
It
probably
depends.
dependent.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite spiritual book?
My favorite spiritual book is a book by Eckhart Tolle. It's called A New Earth. When I read this book, it just was so like profound to me. I think like we attract different books into our lives, and books that I attract into my life aren't necessarily the same books that Shan's gonna connect with.
Yeah,
You know,
sorry, I remember telling Jess about A New Earth, and I'd only read a few pages of it, but I actually connected more with the power of now, and it's from the same author. Yeah, and that for me was just something that resonated with me more. And then also Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, which I think Jess also read.
Yeah, but I didn't have like this same
like spiritual.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good book, but it wasn't the same thing. But when I read like what was it, A New Earth? I nearly said The Power of Now. When I read A New Earth, it was like, whoa, like it felt like the universe was communicating with me. But it's just like, it's funny to think that that's not the same thing that everybody gets.
Because you're gonna sort of like find the things that you personally need, and I think everyone's journey is different, so that's why we're gonna like connect with different books
things.
or different things. Yeah.
Exactly. Question 5. What's your favorite crystal and why?
Okay, so this bad boy over here is my favorite crystal. It's an amethyst.
It's very small, hey?
This was the first crystal that I ever bought.
Really? That's so cool. I think this was my first.
Oh, really?
Mine is hematite. Like, it's funny how that was the first one you bought,
yes.
and I think this was the first one. Let me move it so you can see.
Sure.
This is what. Wait, where's the thing? That's what. It's like a silvery sort of thing. Okay, so why is amethyst your favorite?
So I went through a really bad patch in high school. I had panic disorder, and I was just having daily panic attacks. And because of that, I couldn't sleep. I was having really bad nightmares and sleep paralysis. Then I went to Crystal Spirits, and the lady there recommended that I try an amethyst, which is very good for insomnia and nightmares. And since then, I've just kind of been really attached to it. Like, it's one of those crystals that I've just always felt connected to. And you?
For me, so when I moved out of Benoni and I moved into Joburg, I found it was like I was faced with like a ton of new energies and that sort of thing. So I mean, I would be fine in my flat, and then I would walk out and walk to varsity, and then as soon as I got to varsity, I would feel like bad for some reason. And at first I thought it was something to do with me, and then eventually I was like, no, like maybe it's actually the energies around me that I'm absorbing. So I went to Crystal Spirits. That's a shop in Benoni. Did you also buy yours at Crystal Spirits?
Also Crystal Spirits.
It's like an amazing store. I get all my crystals there. And she suggested that I get hematite, and so I did. And basically hematite, it's like a protective stone, and it's, when I wear it, it like puts me in a bubble, and I'm not absorbing all the energies around me. I'm only getting my own energy, and that's really helped me in spaces where I feel like there's toxic energy or there's like negative energy and that sort of thing. That it's really enables me to still be like positive.
Which element do you have an affinity for?
So mine would be water. So the first thing is because I'm a Cancerian. That's my zodiac sign. That's a water sign, so that's why I feel like I connect with water the most. And also water is connected with like intuitive
spirituality as well,
and like emotion. Yeah.
And you're also quite an empath, eh?
Yeah. And yours?
Mine would be fire. I'm Sagittarian. But more than that, I think I'm a fiery person.
Yeah,
I'm extremely passionate to like a nauseating extent. So I think
really
honestly.
Yeah, it's funny that water and fire are like opposite signs.
You'd expect us not to get along, but
I also like live in a house full of Sagittarians, so I'm very used to this sort of personality. I mean, I feel like we complement each other well.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like I'm intuitive, but I feel like you're also intuitive.
Yeah, but I think it's like different sort of intuitive.
It's like you're also the fiery sort of.
Yeah, like I'm also an emotional person, so like I used to think that I connected with water more, but I actually think that those emotions are driven by the passion that I have. So that's why my emotions feel heightened, is because of how passionate I am about things.
Yeah.
Whereas
I'm more like
you're like super mellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your spirit animal?
Mine is an owl. So when I was quite young, someone told me that my name meant Little Wise Owl, which I think is different on different websites if you check it out. But yeah, I noticed that when they said that, I always just had this sort of like gut feeling that an owl was like connected to me somehow, and I realized that I was always seeing them on TV and not necessarily in person, although I had seen some, but I was kind of like seeing them everywhere. So I also looked up the symbolism of an owl, and it just all kind of made sense with my values and my personality, which is like owls are very philosophical and very wise, and I've always sort of seen myself as a truth seeker, so I think like I connect with an owl.
I can definitely see.
Yeah.
I like your word, truth seeker.
Thank you. What about you?
For me, like, I don't really feel like, I don't really know, to be honest. I don't know if I have one, but something that I have connected with would be like reptiles. So like they've popped up quite a lot in my life. Like I'll be walking and then I see like an iguana thing in the tree, and then I would think like, oh, like there's an iguana thing, and everyone would be like, no, like there's no iguana up there. But actually the next day all these people saw the iguana thing up in the tree, and I wasn't crazy anymore. But that
cool,
sort of thing
though.
has happened quite often to me, where I've seen like a lizard and I've been like, lizard, or chameleon or whatever, and people have been like, no, like it's not there.
Yeah. But it's quite cool. I think that's quite rare. Like I don't know anyone else who would have like a reptile
That's the thing.
as their spirit animal.
Yeah.
So I think that's
I
quite
actually
rare.
had a dream of like alligators the other day.
Alligators.
Yeah. For
So
some weird
random.
reason.
The last one is, okay, so what advice do you have for people wanting to lead a spiritual life?
So for me, I definitely think that you need to trust yourself and you need to do what's right for you. Like Shan and I are both very spiritual people, but we have completely different lives. We make different choices. We're just different.
And also like our spiritual paths are very different.
Yeah.
Even though we're both spiritual, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like everybody has a different path, and my path is not necessarily right for you. You might like branches of mine, and like, you know, like we both meditate, but we meditate in different ways. But you know, some people don't meditate at all. So I think like you have to do what's right for you, and you need to trust your own energy and what you think. I don't know. I can't tell what is good or bad for you because I can't feel what your energy is telling you to do. And you, what would you suggest or tell other people?
I think someone wanting to become spiritual needs to learn patience. I think patience is a really big factor when you're wanting to become spiritual, because people have this idea that you're going to meditate once or you're going to do yoga once and suddenly you're going to be this enlightened being with all the spiritual knowledge, but that's not how it works. It's not a linear road. It's stagnant. Sometimes you take a step back. I've had like years or months where I didn't feel spiritual at all, and I used to feel so guilty about it and get angry, and a lot of times I just wanted to give up on my spiritual path, and I'm sure that so many other people feel that way. I think you just need to realize that when you're becoming spiritual, like your awakening as they call it, it doesn't happen instantly. And I think like instead of feeling guilty about, you know, you're having a day when you're not feeling spiritual and you don't really feel like meditating or you don't feel like doing yoga, like that's totally okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, for me, I feel like people may think like every single year our spiritual journey or our spirituality is going to become greater and greater and greater. But for me, like the same thing with Shan, like I have days, I mean, like periods in my life where I'm not as spiritual as I was before. So like 2016 for me was like a peak year for me. I was very spiritual. And then 2017 and 18, like I was still spiritual, but like not on that same like high level. And then like 2019, I've been like getting back into it again, and I feel like I'm, you know, like focusing on it again. But I mean, I think it really comes down to like what you were saying earlier about how sometimes you have to go through a specific experience.
Yeah,
you know?
So I think what I was saying to Jess is, I think like when we kind of reach a point in our spiritual path where we feel like we can't move forward, that's generally when something's happening to sort of like that's supposed to happen on our path to get us to be more spiritual, if that makes sense. So like there was this one year where like there was just a bunch of bad stuff happening, and I don't think I meditated once the entire year. Like I just felt so horrible, and I just couldn't be bothered with my spiritual path. But I feel like that needed to happen for me to get to where I am now, because that's sort of like how the journey works. And that's why I said it's really important to be patient, because you need to realize that you're not going to get from point A to point B in a day. It's going to be a really long process, and but I think it's worth it.
Okay, so those are all the questions that we have. And yeah, I really enjoyed having you here. Thank you so much for being part of my video.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed being a part of this,
and we hope that you guys enjoyed. And yeah, so enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Okay. Bye everyone.